Welcome to the Counter Press. My name is Fiifi-Manfred. It's a preview edition, and then, but majorly a review of Pep Guardiola's tactical masterclass. I chanced on an article where somebody titled it as Pep, the Grandmaster that chose the field over the chessboard, and I think I do agree 100% that Pep Guardiola is top when it comes to the job that he did, especially against Arsenal. So thank you very much. Please do like, subscribe, and share like we always do. This is a Counter Press with me, Fiifi-Manfred. Thank you for choosing us. So like I've always said, I always felt that Arsenal had a chance in winning this title, and then of course they had what it took to go head-to-head against Pep Guardiola's Manchester City. But the game that was played at Etihad was total drubbing. It was total capitulation from Mikel Arteta's side, and really they were beaten. They were taken to the cleaners by Manchester City. How did this tactical battle unfold? Let me delve you straight into it so that we do the tactical analysis. Like we always do. Pep went into this game with a 4-3-3. Maybe a variation of that also. You can call it a 4-2-3-1 nominally. But before this game, most of the games that Pep Guardiola had played against Bayern Munich, against all the teams that had played this season, was a hybrid 3-back and 4-back, where nominally they started the 4-back with 4 flat centre-backs, but then John Stones, who was in the right-back position on paper, would invert every time to the middle of the park to play as a hybrid RCB and then a CM. What this did for them was that it gave them that technical ability on the ball and generally gave them control, because as you know by now, Pep is a control freak. He played very well in this game. If you look closely at what Arsenal did in this game, they came into their regular 4-3-3. I'd always said that with absence of William Saliba, it was always going to be difficult for them to deal with Pep Guardiola and then his press and how they were going to play out on the back, because Saliba is a proper ball playing centre back, and it gives you that option playing out on the back. They didn't get that. They went into the game with Rob Holding. I had felt that somebody like Thomas Partey could have played in that hole. Somebody like Ben White could have played as centre back, but that of course did not happen. Pep started this game and had moved away from what I told you earlier to a regular 4 at the back. My thinking is that for Walker, it was to deal with the pace of Gabriel Martinelli and the 1v1 ability of Gabriel Martinelli. Also, in the middle of those back 4, he had shifted on the far side. Actually, he had shifted Manuel Akanji from right centre back to left back. I was worried because Manuel is not a natural left-footed player. I was expecting Emerick Laporte, but Laporte is not playing that game. The passing angles were going to be too acute for Akanji to play into the central midfield area. But then the post-game analysis was that Pep felt that Akanji could deal very well with Saka 1v1 instead of Emerick Laporte. So he played Manuel Akanji, especially off the back of the work he did against Kingsley Coman and Roy Sani against FC Bayern Munich. And I think that worked out perfectly well. Saka wasn't as good as we would have expected him to be, as good as we had seen him in a lot of games. He was quiet, and that's thanks to work for Manuel Akanji. Also, Kyle Walker kept Gabriel Martinelli at bay. But for me, generally, what excited me was Pep's love for control, and that's why he played in a double pivot. It was 2 number 6 in this game. That's why I said there was a variation of the 4-3-3 where Rodri and then Ike Gundogan were playing as a 2 number 6. Then up top, in front of them, there was always going to be Kevin De Bruyne and then Erling Braut Haaland. What intrigues me so much is that in as much as this was hinged on some direct play and what have you, some variations that happened, Pep stuck to his basic principles, which were the positional play and total dominance and control. He had a control from the 2 number 6, and then the positional play with the width, staying high and wide, was there. Because of course there was Jack Grealish, who for me has been very good under Pep Guardiola, and then Bernardo Silva was also playing from out wide. He would come inside sometimes to make up for the numbers, win the numerical battle, and then win balls for Manchester City. But then what excited me the most was that Arsenal had a very good press as well. They had pressed centrally. They had made sure that Pep would have only played up to the outside centre backs when they had gotten the option. But mind you, Mikel Arteta had prepared for that hybrid 4-back, 3-back, and Pep had surprised him totally. He didn't know how to deal with it in the first openings of the game, and as you saw, they were playing through them. In about 15 minutes before the first goal came, Arteta had sent a signal to his team that they should go for the man-for-man marking or the 1v1 marking. They did it very well. Ederson had an option to play through the middle. He didn't go for it. He went outside to John Stones, who also had an option in Kyle Walker, and then he went straight long to Erling Braut Haaland, who with his physical ability, with very good hold-up play, held on the ball, brought Kevin De Bruyne into play, and then the rest is history. I have not seen Pep in a very long time, apart from those days when he played against Liverpool, when Liverpool could suffocate him and press the hell out of his teams. That's when he was going long. This time, he went long and over Arsenal's press again. That was brutal. That was Pep shifting. And then, of course, like I call it a sandwich of his principles that he so loves, plus what really sets him apart and what has been his downside seemingly in a lot of games, especially in the Champions League, which is the fact that he has not been as direct as you would want him in most games. And I think generally this is how Pep won the game. I think his teams were much more direct. I think anytime when they had openings in the middle of the park, it was just a quick ball through and then they had torn apart Arsenal's press. So generally Pep was brutal tactically. His in-game management was the best. Arsenal went into the recess, came back, had changed a few things about how they wanted to play. They had done a very good job in terms of dealing with Pep Guardiola's press in the second half. But that mistake for Martin Odegaard had already done the job, and then there was no way Arsenal were going to get back into the title conversation. It was total control from Pep. Those two number 6s, it was brutal. The decision to take Manuel Akanji there just to do with the off-the-ball work between himself and Xhaka, and not necessarily care about build-up and leave build-up to the two very good centre-backs, ball-playing ones, Ruben Diaz and Xhaka, was spot on. Also, the decision to go long and go over Arsenal's press, knowing that Arsenal was also a very good pressing team, was something that I feel was the best as well. And I think that generally football is about using the best tools for the job that's at hand. And Pep, with very good squad recruitment, very good squad profiles over the last few years, picking and choosing the players that have the very good cognitive ability to get the job done, have had a cocktail of players who are technically good, aggressive, and now centre-backs were able to defend their boxes very well. So Pep almost had it. He used it, and then he took Mikel Arteta, who is his apprentice, to the cleaners. On the part of Arsenal, I think that in pre-season, nobody would have given Arsenal a dog chance to go ahead and win it to the English Premier League. And the fact that they are second, they are still first with 2 points to go, but mind you, Pep has 2 games to go. Against Fulham is going to be a big one this season. But yes, you will give them all the credit for the job that they've done against Arsenal. Yes, you give Arsenal all the credit for the job that they've done. But Pep was brutal. He was instrumental. He was top. And then you would agree that he has everything that you want in a manager. He has, if he wins this season, it's going to be 5 times out of 6. Pep literally have won everything that Chelsea have won in just 6 years in terms of winning the English Premier League. That is huge. You have to give Pep his flowers because he masterminded that win. He played very well via his players. He's a total freak. You remember that mistake? He was going on celebrating that goal from Kevin De Bruyne, and then he turned around quickly, remembering that Ederson had made a mistake, called him and said, "Hey man, you needed to be scored," and then he did so it was a very good one from there. Tactically, I'm glad I've been able to analyze this game. I think that mistake actually was what led to the goal. Ederson had an option to play to Gundogan, I'm not so sure, or Rodri in the middle of the park, but opted against that and went to John Stones, and John Stones went long. Ederson had conceded from a goal like that before against Tottenham Hotspur. He was playing through the middle. Son saw that, smelled blood, pressed him, and then won that ball, and then he did a very good one against him. So maybe that's the reason why he didn't go for them, but Pep was never going to have it. Generally, they have been good. It is going to be difficult for them to lose any games. I mean, I know they have Brighton, but then Roberto De Zerbi has said in a few days ago that his team seems to be fatigued. There's the game against Fulham at the Craven Cottage is a tough one against a high-flying Fulham side, but I trust you would always give it to Pep Guardiola and his team. So, guys, this is how we call it a day. My name again, Fiifi-Manfred. This is the Counter Press. I'm grateful for your time, for the time you watch this. I'd love to hear your feedback. So, in the comment section, kindly do leave something. The description below will have the links to the Fiifi-Manfred fan pages, and then of course do like, subscribe, do share as well for me, and of course on Facebook I'm at Fiifi-Manfred, on Twitter I'm at Fiifi_Manfred. These are my only active social media handles. On WhatsApp you can find me later. Thank you very much. My name is Fiifi-Manfred. Talk to you later.